Welcome to your Gravity Yoga Express stretching session. Tonight we're going to be stretching our hamstrings. So there's just a couple of props that you might find beneficial for your practice. If you have a couple of blocks, have those nearby. We are going to be using our yoga strap. If you don't have a yoga strap, use a belt, use a dish towel, there's the belt that people use on their robes that works as well. Even if you have one of those stretching exercise bands, those could potentially work as well. So use what you got. You also want a chair where you can use the edge of a bed, an edge of a couch, a stool, have that handy, and then pillows. If you have any pillows, grab as many pillows as you would think that maybe you would want to use. Blankets can work as well. So you can kind of play around with the prop situation when we get into our poses. So the first one we're going to do, we're actually going to use our stool or chair or couch or whatever it is that you are using. And we're going to be doing a downward facing dog, but using the chair for support. So we can kind of access the hamstrings a little bit deeper and maybe even get into the stretch in a different manner. So if this is a pose that you practice a lot, this is another way to jump in and access the stretch in a different way. So go ahead and come standing wherever you're at. Place the chair or the stool or come by the edge of your bed or your couch, whatever it is you're using. And if you have your mat, you're going to step your feet out as wide as the mat. So no mat, you're just going to maybe bow hips width or just a little bit wider. And here you're just going to kind of play around with the placement of your feet and the placement of the stool. But we're essentially going to set up in a downward facing dog, but our hands and our arms are going to come onto the chair. The trick with this pose is we want to keep our legs very straight. So careful not to lock through the knee. You want to have a slight bend in your knees. Hands straight forward, spread the fingers, and just let your head hang. So you're going to feel this a lot on the back side of the legs, maybe even a little into the calves. Feet are parallel. If you need to go a little bit deeper, you can walk your feet back. Maybe walking back is just too much for the hamstrings tonight. You can play around with walking in a little bit closer, maybe coming down onto your forearms. You also want to make sure that the lower back is not rounding. So if you feel the lower back rounding, instead of finding that straight spine, bend through the knees, walk in a little bit closer to your chair, come down to forearms, and let the head hang. So weight, the hips move up and back, legs are straight. And find a place where you can really start to feel the stretch along the back side of your leg. You might feel a little bit in the shoulders, that's okay. You might feel a little bit in the back, that's okay as well. Remember, we're going to be here for 5 minutes. Already started the time, don't worry. So make sure wherever you're at, you really want to focus on the deep breathing and scanning the body, making sure you're not engaging muscles on purpose. Might need to engage them as you come into the pose. But once you get into the space where you feel that stretch, that's what we're looking for, that's what we're chasing. Pause there, breathe, and release. Release into the pose. Let gravity gently pull you deeper into the stretch. We're at minute number 2. We've got 3 more minutes. Try to hang with me, but especially if this is a newer practice for you, aim for that 2 minutes. Maybe come out of it and come right back into it just to help train the body, the muscles, the nervous system to get used to relaxing into these weird shapes that we're coming into. Deep breaths here. Long, deep inhales through the nose. An even longer sigh out the mouth. Really allow the muscles to soften. Allow the body to become heavy. And allow that tension to be present on the back side of our legs. Releasing tension everywhere else in the body. Got just over a minute left. Hands rest lightly on your chair. Not forcing anything here. Just trying to support the body in a way that it can feel safe enough to really relax. Let the muscles relax and stretch even deeper. Big inhale. As you exhale, slowly bend your knees and come on down to the floor. We're going to move into our flamenco poses next. We'll move through 1, 2, and 3. So if you know how you like to set your flamenco up, feel free to start setting it up. I'll walk you through some different modifications here. You can have your chair nearby, or you can be near a couch or a bed to use for support of the leg. Maybe have a couple of blocks nearby. You can always use maybe a blanket or a pillow for one of the flamenco poses for support as well. So I am going to turn in a manner for the first 2 flamencos so that you can see the way the legs are aligned. So I apologize, I'm going to be turning my back to you, but I think this will help. Now for these flamenco poses, we're not going to hold them for 5 minutes each. It's just too much for the hamstrings. So we'll hold them for 3 minutes. And the flamenco poses help us access all sides of the hamstrings. So as we get into it, I'll walk you through a little more of the anatomy and whatnot. So grab your strap, keep your blocks nearby, keep your pillow nearby if you need it, and lay down on your back. Knees are bent, pointed towards the sky, feet flat down on the ground. We're going to start in flamenco number 1. You're going to take your strap, bend the right knee towards your chest, wrap the strap around the sole of your foot, and extend the leg long. Let's move up here a little bit more. You have a soft bend in the knee and a slight flexing through the foot. So you're going to press through the heel. Try to get in frame here. Leg straight, and you're going to start to feel this stretch along the back side of your leg, right on the back side of the thigh and a little bit into the calf as well. We do have one of our hamstring muscles that moves and connects in with the calf. So feeling that calf stretch is going to happen, and it's super beneficial here. Now make sure that as you're holding onto your strap, you're not rolling your shoulders up off of the ground, but that they're actually rolled open and pressing down into the earth. To deepen this stretch, there's one thing that you can do here with the left knee bent is to guide the right leg more into that perpendicular 90-degree angle, and you'll feel the stretch deepen here. Option two, you can always extend the left leg long and deepen the stretch in that manner as well. And again, with the leg straight, you can always bring your right leg into that 90-degree angle, slightly flex, press through the right heel, soft bend in the knee, and find the stretch again on the back side of the right leg. Breathing here, getting right into the heart of our hamstring muscles. Hamstrings are those muscles that make us believe that can do way more than they can. And so you kind of have to just stay tuned in. And if you start to feel any kind of dull, achy, any kind of sharp shooting pain anywhere in the leg, anywhere in the body for that matter, you just want to make sure you back off and readjust, maybe add some more props, anything to help support the body. Just under 1 more minute to go. Of course, you can always play around with bending the knee a little bit more if you need to. We're just trying to find the stretch. Not so worried about what the pose looks like as we are about just trying to find and hold that stretch. One of the principles of gravity yoga is time under passive tension. So we're looking for that stretching tension on the back side of our leg in this pose. And we want to find it and hold it and breathe there. And as we hold here for this long passive time that we're here, the muscles will slowly stretch more and more and more, giving us space to go even deeper. Good. So flamenco number 2. Couple of options here. If you want, before we move into it, if you want, you can take a block and place it underneath your hips for support. You could also try that with flamenco number 1 too. Or you could always place a pillow under the hips. You can also take a block or whatever you're using in place of a block and place it to the outside of the right hip. Take the left arm straight out to the side, palm down. Slightly pull the leg in more towards that 90-degree angle. Hold it there and slightly angle your toes to the right and allow the leg to drop open to the right. If you have a block, the leg is only going to lower as low as the block will let you go. If you don't have a block and you're just letting the leg hover, that's okay. You just want to make sure that the leg is lowering to a level that the left hip stays firmly planted on the ground. The shoulders are pressing to the ground, the back, the head. And we're working towards having straight arms and straight legs. Now, if your left knee is bent, that's okay. If that is comfortable and supported for your back, and you're still finding the stretch here, then stay there. You can also straighten the left leg as well. But we're just trying to get into a space where we can find the stretch on the inside of the right thigh into the adductors, the adductors. Relaxing here, the best that you can. Of course, if you're not using a block, you can always try placing your foot maybe on the chair for support, or you could place it on the edge of your bed or a couch, or you can stack some blocks underneath the foot or the calf for support as well. When you support the leg, the body will be able to relax a little bit more. That's helping you drop deeper into the stretch and finding that space of stillness and quiet and deep breathing. About 30 more seconds. Start to slowly bring the leg back to center. I'm gonna turn here. You guys can see where I'm going now. It's kind of tricky in a really tiny apartment room here. Left leg extends long for this one. Take the strap, the tail of the strap into the left hand. Right arm extends long out to the side, palms turn down. Guide the leg into that 90-degree angle. Slightly angle your toes to the left and allow the leg to drop open and over to the left side. You can use the chair, the edge of a couch, blocks, anything that you have nearby, the wall, to support your foot or your calf if you need it. Some folks find that lowering the leg all the way down to the ground, that they can do that, but they find a better stretch if the leg is hovering. You're going to feel this stretch on the outside of the right hip here and getting into the abductors. The external rotators, we've got some big, deep glute muscles being stretched here as well. And we have a little bit of that axial rotation happening in our spine, which is something we start to lose as we get older. So in any manner that we can sneak in some of this twisting, it will be beneficial in all manners here. I like to call this one of those super stretches. This one feels different every single time. Deep, deep breaths. Make sure you're not locking through the right knee. Just a gentle, soft bend. And make sure that bottom leg stays straight. You can gaze up towards the sky. Maybe you close your eyes. Or maybe you turn and gaze down the right arm towards the right fingers. Wherever you're at, just make sure you keep breathing. Deep, deep breath. Just over 1 more minute to go. Twenty more seconds. Deep breath. Slowly start to bring the leg back up to center. Slowly bend the knee, release the strap, and maybe extend your legs long just for a moment. We're going to switch sides here. So setting it up, just bend your knees, plant your feet on the mat, knees point towards the sky. Bend the left knee in towards your chest, wrap the strap around the sole of your foot, and extend the leg long. Hold the strap in both hands. And make sure the shoulder is not rolling up off the ground, but that they're drawing down into the ground. So shoulders are open, pressing into the earth, the back presses, and the head presses down. Leg, if you bring your leg more to that 90-degree angle, feel the stretch. Deepen along the back side of the left leg. Slight flex through the foot and slight bend through the knee. Again, you can experiment with this pose, sitting up, propping your hips up on a block or a pillow, if that feels better or feels good for the back, if you need support there. And you can always straighten the leg out as well, which deepens the stretch. So again, we're just trying to find our stretch here, holding and maintaining that intensity of 6, 7 out of 10. And in a space that our body can feel supported enough, that it feels safe enough to really just relax and let go of any tension that it might be holding on to, and allowing only that stretching tension along the backside of our leg here in this pose to be present. Just over 1 more minute to go. Your arms do get tired of holding onto the strap. You can always take the strap tails and wrap them around your wrists to give you a little bit of leverage to hold on to your strap and take any kind of work out of the arms. Take the strap into the left hand. You're going to pull the leg in more to that 90-degree angle again. Hold it there. Slightly angle your toes to the left and allow the leg to drop open to the left. So you can either take your foot to a wall, you can take it to the edge of a chair, you can take it to the edge of a bed, or you can stack up some blocks and allow the foot or the calf to rest on your block. The right leg can be bent or straight. Right arm extends long out to the side. Wherever you're at, just make sure that the right hip is not rolling off the ground, but it's staying firmly planted on the ground. Hips stay square towards the sky. Which means if you're coming down and you feel the hip rolling up, you just gotta lift the leg up so that you can ground back down onto the earth. And You might have to use a few more blocks for the edge, the wall, the chair, whatever it is you have nearby to help support the leg. Finding the stretch on the inside of the left leg into the adductor muscles. Working towards straight arms and straight legs. Less than a minute to go. I will say for poses like this, a lot of people will come into it and just let the leg drop open to the left. That's easy for everybody to do, but it's not really going to get you the stretch. So when you pull the leg up, you kind of want to pull it up and angle it out towards the side. I always think about Barbie, like the way that who has it? If you take a Barbie doll and you take her leg up, point it up towards the sky, it doesn't go straight out to the side. It kind of goes at an angle. And you kind of have to think about that with our legs as well. We don't really want to go just straight out to the side. Because not only does it put us in a compromising, awkward position, and over time, this could cause more damage than benefit. We want to pull the leg in and allow it to come out into that angle. And if you play around with that, you'll definitely feel it does not take long. You don't have to go far to really find that stretch in our adductor muscles here. Come on back to the center. Turn around here. We're going to move into flamenco number 3. So for this one, you want to straighten the right leg. Hold onto the strap with the right hand. Left arm comes out to the side, palm turns down. Pull the leg in towards that 90-degree angle, slightly angle to your toes to the right, and allow your leg to drop over to the right, either resting on a block, the edge of a chair, edge of a bed. Maybe you're near a wall, you can use the wall. The hardest part, honestly, is, in my opinion, is just trying to set your blocks up so that your own leg can rest on it. Wherever you're at, you just want to make sure the right leg stays straight. And you're going to feel this on the outside of the left hip here, getting into the abductors, those external rotating muscles, which are very beneficial for helping us with balance. And then, of course, deep glute muscles are getting stretched. You may even feel this down in the calf. That's great. Feel in all the good spots here. Work towards both arms being straight, coming out into that T shape. Eventually, maybe one day, you can hold on to the left foot with your hand and make sure both legs are straight. If you need a soft bend in your knees, feel free to do that. Don't force your body to go beyond where it's comfortable going, but you want to go into that space where you feel like work is being done, where you feel that tension or the good kind of stretch or good kind of stress that we want our muscles to experience to help further grow the muscles for more space, creating space for more freedom and movement, increasing mobility, and ultimately increasing space for strength, for building muscles. About 1 more minute to go. Remember, you don't have to go far at all. If your leg is just coming across the body, that's just as great. But every time you come into this, the more you revisit this practice, you'll find that you'll have more space to go a little bit deeper, to continue building and gaining those flexibility gains, increasing the length of our muscles. So slowly come back up to center. Bend the left knee, release the strap, extend the legs long. Maybe pause there just for a breath or so. You can shake it out a couple times if that feels good for you. When you're ready, come on back up. We're going to come into our final pose. This is pancake pose. We also like to call this pillow pancake because if you have a bunch of pillows, go ahead and grab those, stack them up. We're going to have a seat on the pillows. You can play around with a block if that feels better for you. I'm going to sit up on the edge of a couple of blankets that I have. So sit on the edge of your pillows, your blankets. Sometimes couch cushions work as well. If you have some that aren't super firm that you can kind of mush in and sit on, you can try stacking up a couple of those. Where you're at, come seated on the edge of your blankets or your pillows, and you're going to take your legs out into a V shape. And then you're going to take them out a little bit wider, a little bit wider, a little bit wider. Take your legs out as wide as you need to go to start feeling that tension, that stretching tension on the inside of our legs. So getting right back into those adductor muscles. Have some blocks nearby, or maybe you're using books. Maybe you're close to the edge of a couch or a coffee table. If you have your chair, keep your chair nearby. I can show you some modifications with that. I'm going to go ahead and start our clock because we're going to be here for 5 minutes. We can do it. I know we can. All right. Clock is started. If you know where you need to go, head there. I'm going to walk you through some different modifications. So the idea of propping the hips up will bring that anterior tilt into the pelvis, into the hips, essentially sticking our butts out so that we feel supported enough that we can extend long through the spine and hinge forward from our hips. Hands come down to the ground, spine is straight, shoulders draw open. Maybe the shoulder blades squeeze in towards one another. And you just start to gently walk your hands forward. Now, if you're here upright and you're feeling that stretch already, you're already at that 6 or 7 in intensity, just stay here. Fingers are spread, nervous system hack that we use. Relax the shoulders, relax the neck, and just let your head hang. Relax the legs, relax the feet. As you're here breathing into the space, and you find that you need to go deeper to find that 7 out of 10 again, make sure the spine is straight and start crawling your hands forward, thinking about leading with your chest as if you're trying to bring the chest down towards the ground. Again, it does not take long to find this stretch. So make sure that you don't go beyond that 6 or 7 in intensity. If you feel yourself going beyond, just back out of it. You can place hands on blocks, bringing the ground up. Maybe you're hinging forward and you're in a space where you can bring forearms down to your blocks. And remember, you have different heights that you can play with. And for some people, it's not so much about the placement of the hands. They might need something to rest their forehead on to help relax and calm the nervous system. The stretch reflex is strong here. If you're feeling like everything is tensing up here, totally normal. We're exposing goodies to the world here, and our body is just trying to keep us safe. So in order to communicate that safety to the body, remember your deep breathing, and then use props like crazy to support the body. Once the body starts to recognize that this is not a dangerous pose, it's going to start to release more and quicker into the stretch. So if you need something for the forehead, you can stack some some blocks and let your forehead rest on the blocks. Now, maybe you need some more support coming up, right? You can always bring in the chair, find the length through the spine, hinge forward, and maybe bring your forearms to rest on the chair. Dropping your head. Just trying to find that stretch. Doesn't take it long to find it in this shape. Not so worried about our arms, torso. We're focusing everything here on the legs, but we want to support the body in a way that it feels, again, safe in the pose and it can release. If you need to slightly bend your knees, you can slightly bend the knees. If the knees need some attention, you can also play with placing blocks underneath the leg for support as well. Back here as much as you can. We got about 1 more minute. Your next breath, slowly lift back up. Take your hands, the inside your legs here, and help your knees out as they start to bend in slowly towards each other. Maybe you bring your knees together for a moment, hug it in. You can always extend your legs long out, shake it out, shake it out. All right, you guys did it. That is it. Those are our hamstring stretches. Please be careful when you stand up. These hamstrings sneak up on you very quickly. If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, I hope to see you guys in class again soon.